sitting in your pantry right now in fresh form, costing you money every single week, when the powdered version could last you up to 25 years or more. Hello guys, welcome back and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at powdered foods and the powerhouse that they are. Some of these foods can last easily 25 years plus if you store them right. So take note guys, because these things could be an absolute game changer in your preps. Now, what if I was to tell you that there are 9 foods sitting in warehouses right now that your great-grandchildren could eat? Definitely your grandchildren, I'd imagine anyway. But not just eat, thrive on and use to get rid of that monotony of everyday boring food. Now, food makes a mockery of milk in your fridge that went bad last Tuesday. So I'm talking about powdered foods, with shelf life stretching past 25 years and some even longer. Now, before you click away thinking that this is just flour and sugar, hold on, because number 7 on this list is probably sitting in your pantry right now in fresh form, costing you money every single week, when the powdered version could last you up to 25 years or more. So stick with me today guys, because by the end of this video you're going to know exactly what powdered foods belong in your long-term storage, how to store them properly, and why most preppers are completely overlooking the single best protein source that costs less per serving than chicken. Okay then guys, let's start with number 1, and this might surprise you: powdered eggs. Now, I know what you're thinking, powdered eggs, those things taste like cardboard, right? Well, you're wrong. That is old military surplus nonsense. Yes, all those squaddies that served back in the day had to eat all that crap, and it was crap back then. But modern powdered eggs, when stored correctly, are legitimate game changers. Now here's why this matters. Eggs are one of the most versatile food on the planet. Breakfast, baking, binding ingredients together, you name it. But fresh eggs, they last 3 to 5 weeks in your fridge. Powdered eggs, if you store them in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers in a cool, dry place, we are talking about them lasting up to 30 years, maybe even longer. Now here's the thing about powdered eggs that really blew my mind when I first tried them. 1, they actually taste good when you rehydrate them properly, and that matters, it really matters. 2, they're insanely space efficient, yeah? And number 10 can of powdered eggs is equivalent to about 7 dozen fresh eggs. It takes up about as much space as a large coffee container. If you, like my UK friends, are not used to the size of a number 10 can, think of that tub of Kenko that you'd buy from Costco. That's the size I'm on about. They are strategic food. We're talking about 6 grams of protein per serving. Now most people, they buy powdered eggs and never use them because they don't know how to properly rehydrate them. Mix 2 tablespoons of powder to 2 tablespoons of water, yeah? Now it is crucial that you let it sit for about 5 minutes. Don't rush it. By letting them sit for 5 minutes, what you're doing is you're letting the powder fully absorb the moisture and it reconstitutes properly. Then you need to cook them low and slow. Now, when you mix them, you need to use slightly warm water as well. Don't use freezing cold water. Trust me, it makes a big difference. Those of you that's had a US MRE or UK MRE with those powdered drinks, you use slightly warm water and it rehydrates a little bit better. It's exactly the same concept. Now, high heat is going to turn your eggs rubbery, so yeah, medium-low, nice and slow. That is the trick with powdered eggs. This way, they are shockingly close to the real thing. Nice little knob of salted butter as well. Goes a long way, guys. Now, I use powdered eggs regularly, not just for storage. I use them in baking and when I go camping as well sometimes. Absolutely brilliant on a DV weekend. And the good thing about powdered eggs in baking is there's no wondering if your eggs are medium or large. The measurements are going to be exact every single time. When you go camping, no more cracked eggs. Who's done that? Who's gone camping and they've had cracked eggs in their car or in their cool box? Absolute bedlam, mayhem. Sticky, starting to dry, tacky eggs is a nightmare. Nobody wants to clean that up. Powdered eggs here are a winner. All you need to do is pack a small container, powdered eggs, and you're set. Number 2 on the list then, guys, is powdered milk. And I can hear the groans from here, I really can. But before you start to groan about how powdered milk tastes weird, let me go stop you right there. Yes, powdered milk straight up as a drink is not winning any awards. But, and here's the but, powdered milk as an ingredient, as a way to ensure you have calcium, vitamin D and protein available to last, that is a completely different story. Full fat powdered milk has about 5 to 10 year shelf life. Non-fat powdered milk stored properly can last you 25 years or more. Yes, that's 25 years or more, stored properly. Big key factor there. The difference here is the fat content. Fat goes rancid, so if you're going for maximum longevity, You want non-fat powdered milk in your long-term storage. Here is the inside move here though, guys. Keep some full-fat milk powder for flavour and some non-fat for longevity. The real magic of powdered milk isn't drinking it straight, it's what you can do with it. You can make soups creamy, you can put it in mashed potatoes, you can put it in your bread, your biscuits, your pancakes, making yoghurt. And yes, I'm in the UK, I mean biscuits like cookies, guys, not the scone type biscuits that you have with sausage and gravy. However, you could also use it for that too. It can also be used to make homemade hot chocolate and even coffee creamer in a pinch. Smoothies, protein shakes, the list goes on. You can even make a pretty decent cheese sauce with powdered milk if you know what you're doing. Not that it's on my list, I don't eat it. But here's something that I learned. This is my personal hack that I learned from a friend. If you're going to drink powdered milk and you want it to taste better, here's the trick. Mix it the night before and let it sit in your fridge, or if the electricity's out, a cool, dark place overnight. Something about that cold steep time makes a massive difference in taste and texture. And try and drop of vanilla extract, just a little tiny drop, and a pinch of sugar or powdered sugar if you want to get fancy. Suddenly your apocalypse milk tastes halfway decent. Right then guys, number 3 is powdered whey protein, and this is where we separate the casual preppers from the serious ones. Protein is the hardest macronutrient to store long term. Carbs, easy. Fats, possible but tricky. Protein, that is the challenge. Most protein sources are fresh meat, which obviously don't store. Canned meat, which is good but bulky and expensive, and dried beans, which are excellent but lack complete amino acids. This is where the whey protein enters. High quality whey protein isolate stored in a sealed container with oxygen absorbers can last you 10 to 15 years, possibly even longer. It's a complete protein source, meaning it's got all 9 essential amino acids that your body can't make on its own, and the protein density is unmatched. Now, a large container can give you 40 servings at 25 grams of protein each. That's 1,000 grams of protein in something the size of a large container, and we're talking about that round. They're not that easy store-wise because most protein tubs are round, but take up a hell of a lot less space than a lot of protein source like canned Spam. This though is where most people actually mess up. They buy the cheapest whey protein they can find. Usually it's loaded with artificial sweeteners, fillers and junk ingredients. Then they wonder why it clumps up and smells like shit, or even separates after a year. So in this instance, quality matters. You want whey protein isolate or concentrate from a reputable brand with minimal ingredients, and you absolutely must store it properly. I cannot stress that enough. Original container if it's sealed well, or transfer it to a mylar with oxygen absorbers for maximum longevity. I keep whey protein in my rotation because it's not just an emergency food, it's everyday food. Post-workout shake, quick breakfast when you're running late, mix it into your oatmeal or yoghurt for extra protein, or blend it into smoothies. You can even add it to pancake batter. It's versatile and it fills a crucial gap in long-term food storage that most people just completely miss. Number 4 then guys is powdered soup mixes. Now stick with me here because I'm not talking about the sodium bombs in the grocery store aisle that are mostly salt and MSG. I am talking about high quality dehydrated soup mixes that actually contain I'm talking about high quality dehydrated soup mixes that actually contain real vegetables, real seasonings and legitimate nutrition. Now these are available from several preparedness companies and even some regular brands. So if you know what to look for, the beauty of powdered soup mixes is threefold. So 1, they're a comfort food. In a stressful situation, a nice warm bowl of soup does something for your mental state that crackers and peanut butter just can't. And if you mastered the art of homemade bread, which I talked about in my last video, then even better. Number 2, they're incredibly easy to prepare. Most just need boiling water and maybe 10 to 15 minutes of simmer time. You do not need any culinary skills. Number 3, they pretty much last forever. A properly packed powdered soup mix can easily hit that 25-year mark. Some manufacturers claim even longer, but here is the key. You need to read the ingredients carefully. Some soup mixes are mostly starch and fillers with a token amount of vegetables. You want one where the vegetables and ingredients are high on the ingredients list. Split pea soup mix, lentil soup mix, minestrone, black bean soup. These are all packed with fibre, protein and nutrients, not just empty calories. Don't forget guys, you can buy dehydrated vegetables and add them in as extra, just for a little bit of an extra kick. Now I learnt this a while back when I bought a big batch of cheap soup mixes thinking I got a fantastic deal. 6 months later I actually opened one up, didn't I? Although I opened them up at the time and they weren't too bad, 6 months later I opened another one to test in. It was lumpy crap that smelt and tasted stale. Absolute waste of money. Since then I only buy from companies that specialise in quality preparedness food, or if you have the ability, make your own. Number 5 then, and this is a controversial one for me. and that's powdered cheese. So yeah, you heard me right. I don't eat cheese, but I am advocating for it because cheese in powder form, and before you make a face, understand that powdered cheese is already in tons of products you probably eat regularly. You ever had crackers with the bright orange dust? Powdered cheese. Movie theatre popcorn? Powdered cheese. Boxed macaroni and cheese, it's powdered cheese. The difference is when you buy a quality powdered cheddar or powdered cheese blend for long-term storage, you're getting a product that's going to last you 20 plus years, and this is going to serve as a flavour enhancer and fat source for countless meals. A little bit really does go a long way. Now, I might not eat it, but my family does. You can make cheese sauce for pasta or vegetables. You can add it to scrambled eggs, real or powdered, and you can mix it into mashed potatoes. You can use it as popcorn seasoning, add it to bread dough for cheesy biscuits. You can even use it to make a surprisingly decent cheese dip if you mix it with some powdered milk and some other ingredients. Now, here's the thing about fat in long-term food storage, it's hard to store. Oils go rancid, butter doesn't last unless it's freeze-dried or canned, and nuts have the oils that eventually turn. Powdered cheese gives you a shelf-stable fat source that also happens to taste good. It's not health food, nobody's claiming that. But in a situation where you're living off rice and beans for weeks or months, adding some powdered cheese to the mix makes those meals exponentially more enjoyable. Plus, and this is something that I didn't appreciate until during COVID, we ran out of certain foods and didn't want to go to the shops to find empty shelves. Flavour fatigue is a real thing. Even if you have enough calories, eating bland food daily, it's boring. It wears on you mentally, it's draining, and you just don't want to eat it anymore. Powdered cheese, if that's what you enjoy, is a cheap insurance against flavour fatigue. If that's something that you feel like you should stock up on, then go grab some. There's no point keeping these things on hand if you or your family don't like them though, guys. Only stock up on what you're going to eat. Now, number 6 is one of my personal favourites. It's powdered peanut butter. Some of you are going to be familiar with this from the fitness world, where it became popular as a low-fat alternative to regular peanut butter. But apart from a preparedness standpoint, powdered peanut butter is absolutely brilliant, and here's why. Regular peanut butter is already pretty shelf stable. It's a damn good item to have on your shelves if you want to be prepared, and unopened it can last a year or two, but it's heavy, it's bulky, and the oil content means it's going to eventually go rancid. It's not going to last as long. Hot conditions are going to make this happen faster as well. Now, powdered peanut butter removes most of the fat, leaving you with concentrated peanut protein and flavour. Incredibly lightweight, takes up minimal space, and when stored properly it can last 15 to 20 years or more. Now, you rehydrate it with water to make a spread, and I'll be honest, the texture's never quite the same as real peanut butter because you're missing the fat. But where powdered peanut butter really shines is as an ingredient. Now, you mix it into oatmeal, blend it into smoothies, protein shakes, cereal, all sorts. The applications are endless. Peanut butter oat bars are amazing when made right. A few little dried dates in there as well. Lovely. Now, the practical consideration is peanuts are legumes, which means they're relatively high in protein for a plant food. So about 7 grams per 2 teaspoon serving. They're also calorie dense, though less so in powder form since the fat's removed, but you know, you can't have it all. In a survival situation though, powdered peanut butter gives you protein, flavour and versatility in a package that'll outlast most of your other food storage items. I've got several containers myself in my preps and I actually use it regularly, but not because I'm trying to cut fat for my diet, but because I like having options. Some days I want the real thing. All that lovely, smooth, creamy, peanutty richness. Yes, I am a smooth fan. Other days, I want to add peanut flavour to something without adding extra fat and calories. Powdered peanut butter gives me that option. Now, number 7, and this one is huge, guys. Absolutely huge. And that is powdered fruits. Now, specifically, I'm talking about freeze-dried fruit that's been ground into a powder, and this is where things get really interesting. Most people have never even considered this option. They think about storing whole freeze-dried strawberries or blueberries, which is great, but powdered fruit takes it to another level, guys. It's elevating right up here. Why do you want fruit in powder form, you ask? Several reasons. First, it is the ultimate space saver. You can fit the equivalent of pounds and pounds of fresh fruit into a single jar of powder. Now, secondly, it's incredibly versatile. You can rehydrate it into a fruit puree. You can mix it into yogurt or oatmeal, and you can add it to smoothies. You can use it in baking to add natural fruit flavour and colour without added moisture. You can even make fruit leather by rehydrating it and spreading it thin. Thirdly, it retains most of its vitamins and antioxidants from the fresh fruit, especially if you freeze dry it rather than heat dehydrated. The real kicker, guys, powdered fruit gives you a way to add natural sweetness to foods without actually relying on sugar. Now, don't get me wrong, I keep sugar in my food storage. Sugar is crucial, but powdered strawberries and powdered bananas or powdered mango even bring sweetness plus flavour plus nutrients. Sweetness, flavour, nutrients, three top things there, guys, that are going to keep you ticking over. Now, you can buy commercial powdered fruits from various companies, but you can make your own if you've got a freeze dryer and a damn good blender. So buy fresh fruit when it's in season and cheap, freeze dry it, powder it, store it in mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, and boom, you've just captured summer strawberries or autumn apples in a form that's going to last you 25 to 30 years. Now, I once made pancakes on a camping trip with powdered blueberries and strawberries that tasted shockingly close to real fresh pancakes. It goes down a right treat. I mixed powdered bananas into a chocolate or peanut butter protein shake, and suddenly my boring shake tasted even better. Now, the one thing that most preppers miss: morale matters, happiness matters, hope matters. Especially when you have children. You can have all the calories in the world, but if your food tastes like cardboard and every meal is depressing, that's going to wear on you. It's going to drain your energy and your mentality. Powdered fruit is one of those little luxuries that doesn't feel like a luxury until you need it. Then, guys, it's priceless. That brings us on to number 8 then. So we've had powdered fruits. Now we've got powdered vegetables. This is where we get into the real workhorse of long-term food storage. Powdered vegetables, either individually or in blends, give you a way to add nutrition, flavour and colour to meals when fresh vegetables are unavailable or unaffordable. You can have your own garden, guys, in an emergency situation, but if it's the middle of winter and you've got a foot of snow, you ain't growing nothing. No, we're talking about powdered carrots, spinach, tomatoes, broccoli, sweet potatoes. The list goes on and on. Now, I'm going to be straight with you. You're not going to rehydrate powdered spinach and then serve it as a side dish and have anyone be thrilled about it. That isn't the point here, though. The point is to have a shelf-stable way to add vegetable nutrients to other foods. Mix powdered vegetables into soups and stews and add them to pasta sauces. Stir them into rice. You can pretty much put them into anything for that additional nutrients. You can even blend them into smoothies where the fruit flavour masks the vegetable taste. You can add them to bread dough for veggie bread or veggie crackers. Use them in casseroles and stews. And the nutrition in powdered vegetables is a lot more robust than you would think. Now, while you do lose some vitamin C, some vitamin K or minerals like potassium and magnesium, you don't lose it all, and you manage to keep a great amount of these minerals, and more importantly, they're also still high in fibre. Now, the British population are chronically under-consuming fibre, magnesium and potassium as well. And in a crisis situation where people are eating more processed foods and fewer fresh vegetables, fibre is becoming even more critical for digestive health. If you're serious about long-term food storage, create a custom vegetable powder blend. Take equal parts powders, spinach, carrot, tomatoes or sweet potatoes, or any others that you really like, and mix them together, then store that blend in a jar. Now you've got a nutritional powerhouse that you can add by the spoonful to almost anything that you cook, and that's just one idea. You can use the vegetables you like the best, mix it up and try it out to see what you and your family prefer. You're going to be the ones eating it day in, day out after all, so it needs to be what you're going to enjoy. In my storage, I keep all sorts of mixes. The individual ones give me flexibility, the blends give me convenience, and all of them give me peace of mind, knowing that even if I am eating mostly grains and protein, I still get vegetable nutrients into my diet. Yeah, it costs me more because I don't have a freeze dryer, but I've still got my peace of mind. Right then, number 9, and this is not so easy to get in the UK. I tend to buy it in bulk off Amazon, and that is powdered butter. Yeah, you heard me. Butter in powdered form. And I know it sounds strange, but stay with me because this might be the most underrated item on this entire list. Fat is essential for human health. Your body needs fat for hormone production and for absorbing certain vitamins for brain function. You need it for sustained energy, and yet it's the hardest macronutrient to store long term, next to protein. Most oils are going to go rancid within a year or two, even if they're unopened. Coconut oil will last longer, maybe 3 to 5 years. Canned butter or ghee can last several years, but powdered butter, powdered butter, we're talking about 20 or 30 years, guys. That is a big difference. Big. It is a game changer. Now, powdered butter is real butter. It's been processed to remove most of the moisture and some of the liquid fat, leaving behind milk solids and enough fat to retain that buttery flavour. A little bit the same as the way they make protein powders as well, guys, to be fair. You rehydrate it with water, and honestly the texture is never quite the same as melted butter, but it's not going to be. Now, you can add it to anything. Baking, mix it into mashed potatoes, add it to pasta, use it to make butter sauce and stir it into hot cereal. Spread it onto bread if you're not too picky about texture. Butter melts on toast anyway, doesn't it? What's the problem? But beyond cooking, powdered butter serves a crucial nutritional role. Each serving contains fat, calories and fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A in a long-term survival situation where you might be eating a lot of lean proteins and carbohydrate. Having a fat source here, guys, is critical. Without adequate fat, your body struggles to absorb nutrients properly. If you're hungry all the time, even if you're eating enough calories, and your energy levels tank, then your mood suffers. And don't forget, guys, add a bit of salt to that butter as well. Nice bit of salted butter, you're getting your extra minerals there too. Right then, guys, so if you, like me, are serious about looking after your family, get familiar with how these things taste, how they rehydrate, how they perform in recipes. If you like it, stock it more. If you don't, At least you only spent £75 to £100 finding out instead of hundreds of potentially thousands. Right, let's recap then, guys. What have we covered? We have covered nine powdered foods that can last up to 25 years or more if you store them right. Yeah, don't forget, that is the big, massive key factor: storage. Store them right and they are going to last longer. We've got powdered eggs for protein and versatility, powdered milk for calcium and baking, powdered whey protein for concentrated complex protein, powdered soup mixes for comfort and convenience, powdered cheese for fat and flavour, powdered peanut butter for plant protein and taste, powdered fruit for natural sweetness and nutrients, and powdered vegetables for fibre and vitamin. We've also got powdered butter for those essential fats. But knowing what these foods are is only half the battle. You need to know how to store them properly, because even the most shelf-stable foods will fail if you store them wrong. Check your preps periodically. Anything that's showing any signs of going bad and ruining the rest of your food, chuck it out. It ain't worth. Rotate your food as well, guys. Make sure you're keeping a good rotation, because you don't want something sat at the back of your shelf that's been there for 50 years when you could have rotated it and eaten it. Don't waste food. So as a bonus for you then, guys, we've got 4 critical rules for storing powdered foods long term. Rule number 1, keep them cool. Heat is the enemy of shelf life. Ideally, you need to store it below 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Every 10-degree increase in the temperature can cut your shelf life in half. If you can store in a basement or climate control area, then do it. Now, I said Fahrenheit because a lot of my viewers are American, but for my UK viewers, which is where I am, and other European countries, that's 21 degrees Celsius, guys. Rule number 2, keep them dry. Yeah? Moisture destroys powdered foods faster than almost anything else. Once moisture gets in, you've got clumping at best and mould at worst. I know penicillin came from mould, guys, but just no. This is why proper packaging is crucial. Use Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers or number 10 cans. Even properly sealed jars work too. Don't just leave powdered foods in the original containers unless they're specifically designed for long-term storage. Also, be mindful of rats and mice. They will chew through plastic, so make sure your long-term food fare are safe and stored well. Number 3, protect from oxygen. Oxygen causes oxidisation. This leads to a nutrient degradation, flavour loss and rancidity. Oxygen absorbers are cheap and incredibly effective. A 2000cc oxygen absorber in a 1 gallon Mylar bag will remove virtually all oxygen between 24 to 48 hours. This is going to create an environment where nothing can grow or degrade. And number 4 then, guys, last but not least, protect from light. Light, especially UV light, breaks down nutrients and can cause flavours to change. This is why store-bought powdered foods often come in opaque containers. If you're using clear containers for convenience, like jars, store them inside a dark cabinet or pantry. But better yet, use Mylar bags, which are completely light-proof. Okay then, so you follow those 4 rules, your powdered foods are easily going to hit that 25-year mark. You've got to look after them well. Ignore them and you're going to be disappointed when your 5-year-old powdered milk smells like old socks. Now, this part is very important. Having all of these powdered foods is absolutely fantastic. They don't do you any good if you've never used them. If you don't know what they taste like, you don't know how they go with things, what they blend into, or how to prepare them. One of the biggest mistakes I see new preppers make is buying a ton of long-term food and then never touching it until there's an emergency. Then they open it up and realise they've got absolutely zero idea how to prepare it, and then they just buggered them thinking, why didn't I do more? And by then it's pretty much too late. They don't like the taste, or they're missing a critical component to make a meal because prepping can be expensive and they want to save where they can, which is understandable, but you have got to try it all and see what works for you. There's no point buying 1,000 packs of single meal spaghetti bolognese dehydrated if you've not tried just one to make sure you like it. Okay, so my challenge to you: buy 1 or 2 of the powdered foods that we've just talked about. Actually use them. Make powdered eggs for breakfast this weekend. Use powdered milk in your next baking product, or even use both. Try powdered vegetables in a soup. Those pot noodles you're eating, guys, they've got dehydrated vegetables in them. Think you're already eating them. Now get comfortable with these foods now when there's absolutely no pressure. You can experiment, you can make mistakes. This way, if you ever need to rely on them, you've already made the mistakes and you're going to be absolutely fine. If you know someone that's going to benefit from the information in this video, then please share it with them. Preparedness is about community. It's about helping each other to become more resilient. Remember, the best time to prepare was yesterday. The second best time to prepare is now. Start small, start today. You don't have to spend a fortune and it doesn't have to be massive. Every step that you take towards preparedness is a step towards peace of mind. That brings us to the end of this video then, guys, so thanks for sticking around. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that bell button and you'll know when I put out a new video. But most importantly, guys, stay safe. I'll be back with you soon for more eats, treats and MREs.